This was also one of the crazy games in blocked field goals. This game was on crack in the fourth quarter. It was 23-6 going into the fourth quarter, Bucs. And the final score is 29-27 after just an insane turn of events. And another blocked field goal returned for a touchdown moment that swung things pretty drastically.
Yeah, I think this one probably smart to end or start with the ending sequence. So the Bucs have a 4th and 1 and a chip shot field goal attempt, which, that's a debate we'll have to have, Dakota, because it's an interesting one. If you get a first down there, the game's over. Instead, they opt to go up by 9 at that point because they were up by 6 at the time. It was 26-20. And they opt to go up by 9, which, at that point, coming in on the 2-minute warning, if you go up by 9, it's also essentially over. But
yeah,
one thing you have to take into account with the math is the potential of a blocked field goal, which is exactly what happened. Will McDonald, again, makes an absolutely incredible athletic play, blocking the kick. This one, Will McDonald just straight up jumped over the line.
Yeah.
Didn't touch a soul. Like he didn't leverage. He just straight up jumped over a line, Troy Polamalu style, to block this kick. And then once again, had the athleticism to stay up, recover the thing. And this recovery was much more consequential because he took it back for a touchdown, and that put his team up by 1 point. So, they could have won the game off this blocked kick. But got to give Baker credit, man. Another game-winning drive led by Baker Mayfield. 3 in a row. That's never happened. It's literally never happened in NFL history to start a season. And he's just so cool in these moments, man. And he made a play in the final drive that didn't even count. That was nice. That sideline throw to Emeka Egbuka, where I thought that was worth a review. I thought Egbuka caught that. But then he made another throw to Egbuka to continue that drive and, set up the game-winning kick. My only problem with the game-winning kick is, why didn't Will McDonald go for the same strategy? I know it was a different distance and whatnot, but to me, you just showed you can just jump right over the line. Why not try that again?
Yeah, it is true. It's like it literally just worked perfectly, and then just doesn't even attempt it the second time.
Yeah.
And it is, all credit to Baker and the Bucs offense of being able to go down and win this after just a complete and utter collapse, and just wild turn of events, because Terrell Taylor deserves the credit for leading 2 10+ play drives as well in the fourth quarter, where and to the credit again of Baker, they punted on their first drive of the fourth quarter. Then the Jets have a 10-play drive and score a touchdown. They lead a drive. They get a field goal out of it. Baker goes down and scores again. Then the Jets have another long drive, score a touchdown. And then they get what should have been another field goal to put the game away. It gets blocked. So it's like this also could have been wild sequence had they ended up losing, because in a similar thing that we saw in similar-esque in the Titans game, they did line up to try to get them to jump, I think. And they ended up taking the delay of game. And who knows how much that impacts the potential kick or whatnot, with it being on 4th and 1, and just being 5 yards closer, 38-yarder instead of 43. But you would have to kick it. You could kick it a little bit higher. So it would have been an interesting conversation had they ended up losing, and then that entire sequence of events of not going for it, taking a delay of game, and then having that happen. But what a wild, probably one of the best fourth quarters of action we will get all season.
Yes.
In terms of just complete and utter mayhem.
Did you see I'm forgetting, blank on his name, Glenn, his dance, Aaron Glenn's dance.
I loved it.
Yeah, dude, it was,
and then
it was
my
electric.
Heart broke for him after that as well.
Yeah.
I've already seen a meme of it put to September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. That was fantastic. That was awesome. If you haven't watched the clip of it, go look up Aaron Glenn's dance after they had it was awesome.
It is epic because go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, because it shows how emotional he is for the team, and then it also after watching it, you will also hurt even more of feeling bad for the
Yes.
guy, knowing they then lost the game.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's where I was going with it as well. Like just the pure emotion, the happiness to get your first win as a head coach because, listen, these guys are extremely confident. Aaron Glenn's a former player. He was a really good DC with the Lions. So he's a confident guy, but you got to know as a first-time head coach, you're questioning in your head, can I do this? Like, can I
Yeah.
win in the NFL as a head coach? And, he thought he got him one, kind of stole one, if you will, because the Bucs definitely should have won this game. But credit to Baker and the Bucs for leading that drive, especially with the injuries the Bucs are dealing with. Man, they are banged up right now, missing both their tackles. Mike Evans went out with an injury. And
Yeah, hamstring.
Chris Godwin's still not playing. I mean, it is. Again, it speaks to what Baker Mayfield is doing right now, especially in clutch moments. But dude, we got to have the discussion. Would you have went for that 4th and 1? Because to me, like, I don't understand why teams. I get the tush push is unique to the Eagles because of the skill set that they have, especially with their quarterback. But quarterback sneaks are still like an 80% play, even non-tush push. So to me, I would have went for the 4th and 1, specifically a quarterback sneak, because it's an 80% success rate. And, even though it's not likely a kick gets blocked, there's still the possibility, and you can keep the ball in your own hands and say, okay, we're going to end the game now and just run the clock out. That's what I would have opted to do in that situation.
I would tend to agree. In 4th and 1 in that situation, I do love going up by 2 scores, but again, it's like I think one of the biggest problems in just decision making right now is seeing field goals as automatic. Like they line up in
Yeah.
that situation to basically say that it's a definitive, it's not the option to potentially get points. It's a definitive thing that we will settle for the 3, take the 2-score lead. And in today's NFL, regardless of the block kicks, the missed field goals that we're seeing and everything, like
Yep.
I would much rather put in my quarterback and my offense to get a single yard and in the game. The game's
Well,
over after that. So
let's also not forget that McLaughlin just missed a kick, the PAT against the Falcons. And remember in
and he
that
had a
game,
missed field goal in this game. Well, he had to
yeah.
block, but yeah, he did. Yeah.
So yeah, dude, he's not been Mr. Automatic either, and all of that's baked into the models, the 4th down models. I unfortunately don't have access to the models. I don't know where you can get access to whether it's go or not go. So if somebody knows, you can let us know. But I imagine that said go. I imagine that said go in that situation.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm gonna rapid fire some random notes that I took just because I write them and I feel like I gotta spit them out. First thing is just Bucky Irving is so freaking good, dude. He is so fun to watch. He is so electric, man.
Yes.
And honestly, Rachaad White has also looked great in that number 2 role with him. They're a sneaky good duo right now.
They really are. That I'm glad you shouted out White too, because it kind of reminds me of a good receiver who's like a reliant number 1 receiver, but he's not really a true number 1. But then you get a true number 1 and bump him down. Yeah, exactly. Bump him down the depth chart, and then all of a sudden that number 2 guy looks better, and that's what Rachaad White is right now to me. He just looks better in that backup role.
That's a very good way to put it. And yeah, they're fun to watch together. And I want to see, he only had like 5 carries, but man, they having a duo like that could make this offense super, super electric going forward. One thing that is something worth noting to your point on the injury stuff with Wirfs, Graham Barton, I'm feeling rough for him. They could be damaging his development as a young player. He is not doing well at left tackle. He has been a bit of an issue. His pass blocking grade is a 47. Which is just not good.
And he's a good
given
player.
Up 11. He is, man. He's given up 11 pressures at left tackle. I think the experiment should probably go ahead and end and just put him back at center where he belongs. Let him be an elite center and continue on that way, because I don't know how much you could damage him by moving him out to tackle and then moving him back, but he is going through a rough experience right now.
That's a really good point, because to me, especially since it's not about like, okay, you're going to get a better left tackle in there, because you're probably not. Like, the replacement's
Right.
probably not going to be better. It's more so what you said, his development as a player, because this is your franchise center. Like, this is your franchise guy at the center position that you expect to be your center for the next 10 years. And if you are screwing up his development and killing his confidence, it's not just about, can he move back in and have the skill set at center? What if he doesn't have the confidence to play in the league after getting killed for, how many ever weeks at left tackle? So I agree with you, because it can't get that much worse with someone else that you replace him with. And plus you probably upgrade the interior, putting him back at center as well. So overall, I agree with that assessment completely.
Yeah, and the last thing I was gonna shout out, one was Mike Evans' slant on the goal line. That's just like it made me want to think about the fade conversation that we had
Yeah,
seen,
yeah,
the conversation on the goal line fade. And one of the other things that I can't remember who it was, it was Kurt or somebody was like, "Give me the slant," because
yeah.
if you have the worry of the fade and combine it with a slant based on the leverage of the corner, and it just was that moment where it was like they have the outside leverage to prevent the fade, and then Mike Evans is just can body people on the goal line like that. So that was cool. And then the last thing is Sterling Shepard with the quote of "What year is it?" Because Sterling Shepard's like solid. Him and Baker have a little connection going
Hey,
on right now.
college roommates, Dakota. They were college
Yeah,
roommates at OU.
exactly. Yeah, loving it. So yeah, big win. Bucks moved to 3-0, quietly 3-0 right now, and then the Jets unfortunately fall to 0-3, and they've been feisty, man. 2 games now where they went down to the wire and
Mm,
lost in heartbreaking fashion. And
very true.
hopefully we'll see Monday night doubleheader going to Miami. Hopefully they can get things rolling. But I will say the
Hey,
Jets
that's a
in
get
general,
right
outside of the
game.
Bills game, it is a get right game, man. But the Jets have looked feisty so far under Aaron
They
Glenn.
have. They really have. They have been, and we kind of thought that going in, that they would be a feisty team. From the Bucks' perspective, though, very intriguing team when they get healthy. I mean, when they get healthy, because Wirfs is coming back. Like this was always the deal with Wirfs. We knew he was going to be out for first couple weeks, but he will be back at some point. At some point, they will have. At some point, I'm envisioning in this year they will have Mike Evans, Emeka Ibuka, and Chris Godwin on the field at the same time. It's gonna be tough to stop, man.
With a healthy Tristan Wirfs, yeah.
Very tough to
They are
stop.
about to get tested as well. Their schedule's a little rough. So they get
Yep.
Philly next week, at Seattle, San Fran, at Detroit. So these are going to be some playoff seeding
Yep.
matchups.